Hello everyone, my name is Dilzim, and this is going to be my first episode of Let's Play Brogue. Brogue is a roguelike game, and the fun of the game is very much in the striving and not always so much in the succeeding. It's the sort of game that you kind of need to play quite a few times. So this is going to be a let's continuously play Brogue, because odds are I will be screwing up and dying more than once as we go. Well, there's a whole lot that we can talk about, but I'm just going to get started and I'll talk about what I'm doing as I do it. The point of the game is to get to the 26th level and retrieve the Amulet of Yendor in the Dungeons of Doom. You start here on the first level, and you can see that's me down there. I'm using a special graphical mod, which I will also link to in the video description, so you can look at that as well. The original graphics for the game harken back a little more to the original to the original Rogue, which was a text-based game. Up at the top, you can see I have health and nutrition. If I entirely run out of either, my game is over. Start the game with Strength 12 and Armor 3. You get the Armor 3 from the leather armor you've got over here. That's what I'm wearing. I also start with some food, which will replenish my nutrition, some darts that I can throw, and a +0 dagger. So I'm not exactly doing very well in terms of stuff to start. Now you can also see over here on the left, you can see the things that I can see. You can see the dungeon exit, which is right here. I can't leave. At least I don't think I can leave. Only the bearer of the Amulet of Yendor may pass. There are also some incendiary darts sitting over here. As you can see, the spike on each of these darts is designed to pin it to the target, while the unstable compounds burst into brilliant flames. It's like my darts, but it's a little better. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to walk over and pick them up. You can see when I put my mouse over here, you can see that this is sort of what I can see. If I click, I will travel in a direction, but it's usually easier just to use the keyboard to travel. You can see that there's a kobold now up there who's sleeping. If you hover over it with the mouse, you can see a few pieces of information, but because it's sleeping, and the point of the game is not to kill everything that you see, I'm just going to leave it alone unless it tries to get me. So I pass through a doorway here, and I head up over to the right, where I discover some sleeping rats. You can see that my sight line is blocked by the foliage here, so that's why I can't see as far, and I have to proceed carefully through it. There's another door down here. The rat is coming after me now. You can see it scratched me. It did a little bit of damage, but nothing for me to worry about. The way that you attack things is you move in the direction that they are. So I hit the rat, and you can see over in the top left there that the rat's health is almost gone, so one more hit ought to do it, and yep, I have defeated the rat. So I'm checking out this hallway over here on the right. I'd like to check out doorways here. The first unidentified item. One of the big features of the game is that nearly everything you run into, and definitely everything you run into that's magical, is unidentified. And there are certain ways that you can go about figuring out what they are. It's a little dangerous to start just experimenting with the staff, so I'm not going to do that just yet. One of my previous games that I was playing as I was working on this game, I used a staff that I didn't know what it did. It turned, actually it may not have been a staff, it might have been a wand, but anyway, I used it on a monster because I was nearly dead, and it turned that monster that was a relatively low-level monster into a dragon, which then killed me. So this is the kind of game that we're playing. You're not really expecting necessarily to get through on your first try, you're just learning about how the game works. Now you can see some gold pieces here. They're not actually useful for anything in the game. At least I haven't discovered any shops or anything like that. They're mostly a score sort of thing. So I'll pick that up anyway, though. You can see I'm being. You can see the different enemies have different sort of acts of being. You can see over here that this kobold is wandering, which means it hasn't decided to try to kill me yet. So, okay, now it's shifted to hunting, and now it's trying to kill me, so I'm just going to attack the kobold. A couple of hits there, and the kobold goes down. The only thing that's in here is a rat, so I'm just going to ignore that and keep going. over here to the right is more wall. And you can see up here there are two different types of water. You can see the lighter water that I'm standing in, and there's darker water. If you step into the darker water, you have the possibility of losing some of your items, which will then float away and sort of move around randomly until they end up somewhere where the water isn't deep. So I generally try to avoid the deep water unless it's absolutely necessary. Water can also contain eels, which are dangerous, and generally best to avoid if possible. Alright, up here there's a cherry staff. Wow, I'm getting lucky with the staffs here, and an indigo potion. Potions are one of the things in the game that it's usually fairly worth your while to identify early. There are a number of different types of potions, or a number of other different types of magical items. If you type in a capital D, so if you're holding Shift and D, you can bring up the item of magic items. You can bring up the list of magic items. This tells you what the items are, and whether they are positive magic items, if they have a blue circle next to them, or cursed magic items, if they have a red circle next to them. You can see that rings have the capability of being both positive or cursed, which is always problematic. Most of the scrolls in the game are positive, although there are a couple of ones that are not, which are probably fairly accurate. I'm not going to go into too great depth about what these things do, just because, well, I'll be trying to figure out what they are over the course of the game. You can see the potions are split between positive and negative potions. Staffs are mostly positive, and wands are also mostly positive, although some of them have potential for being a bad thing. I believe that what I ran into that ended up killing me was a wand of polymorphism, which is listed as a positive magic item, but doesn't always necessarily work in your favor. So hit escape to move out of that, and there's a little door over here that I'm just going to go down and check out. Oh, hallways with grass is always a little scary. You can see the scroll is entitled Flemglorp Nigloflin, which basically tells me that it's a scroll that I don't know what it does yet. After I use the scroll and I find out what it does, it will, every time I run into another scroll that's the same, it will tell me what kind of scroll it is. I also have a sword. Weapons might be cursed, so I'm not going to equip it right away. You can also see that I only have strength 14 up here, or that I only have strength 12, and it requires strength 14 to use it properly. If I go into my inventory and I hover over the sword here and I click on it, if I were to equip it right now, it would carry a penalty of -5 because of my inadequate strength. If I defeat 20 enemies with it and it is magical, it will tell me what sort of magical it is. If I'm wielding the sword and it has no hidden property, it will decrease my current accuracy by 30% and increase my current damage by 61%. Right now, it might be cursed, and if it is cursed, I won't be able to take it off, so I'm just going to leave it where it is and escape out of my menu. You can see I found the stairs down to the second level here. I'm going to ignore that for now because there's still more to discover up here. So there's a blue potion here. Potions are like scrolls in that I don't know what color does what, and that color is randomized at the beginning of every game. So a blue potion might be a potion of healing in this game, but in the next game it might be something a heck of a lot more sinister. So it's never safe until you've figured out what it is in the game where you've already succeeded. Now, you can see that there's some tempting black space over there on my left, but I'm not going to head over there quite yet just because I can see that the dark water's all around me. Better to go around. Up here's a bloodwort pod. When you step on the pod as opposed to the stalk, the little purple spot there, when you step on that, it will burst, and the area that it bursts in is a healing area temporarily. So when you move around in it, you gain health back. I don't need it right now, so I'm just ignoring it. Continuing on back over this way, because you can see there's a little thing down here. Oh, the kobold found me, so I'm going to beat it up. Now there's a jackal over there. It's just wandering around, and now it's hunting me, so I'm going to have to try to kill it. But I survive. Wow, there's a lot of water on this level. That's not always true. Okay, I can see, yeah, there's a lot more water up there. And I don't want to stay in that water because definitely dying by eel on level 1 is not going to be a very happy way to go here. So continuing on down here, I'm going to check out this door. There doesn't appear to be anything down there, so I'm going to head up this way. There's a scroll entitled Portan Nidgangulo. And another bloodwort pod. Doesn't look like there's anything over there, so I'm gonna, whoop. So that's what happens when you step on a bloodwort pod. You can see the area that's all highlighted in red. If I were hurt, you would see my health going up, but I'm not. So it looks like I have discovered everything on this level. I am going to wander around by this wall for a second and tap the S button, because if I am lucky and there is a secret door, I might find it. I don't think there is, though. There's usually not on the first level. So I'm going to head back over towards the dungeon exit. And the reason that you want to head back over to the dungeon exit before you start fiddling around with the magic items you've discovered, well, there's a couple of reasons. When you go back down to when you go down a level, when you go down to the next level, you see you step down, you descend, and you can see that level. Now, one of the potions that I might have is called a potion of descent, and if I drink that potion, the floor opens up underneath me, and I fall down to the next level. So it's good to know where the dungeon exit is, or sorry, where the level staircase is, so that if at some point I am forced to drink a potion in an attempt to save my own butt, I might at least have a hope of finding the dungeon level that I was on again. Scrolls are more likely to be positive than negative, so I'm going to start with that because I might run into a scroll of identify. So you hit the inventory button, which is I, and then you hit the letter associated with the item over here. So I hit an I to bring this up, and then you use the A button to apply. You can do this all with the mouse, but it's easier to do it with the keyboard here. All right. So I have a scroll of remove curse. I have used it, and because you can see it said nothing happened, that means that that sword that I have, at the very least, it's not cursed. So that's good to know. I'm also going to use the other scroll here. Oh, okay, that's one of the bad potions. Well, I am fortunate I only summoned 3 monsters, and I did kill them all, but I am almost toast. So when it's necessary, you can hit the Z button to rest. You can also hold shift and hit Z to rest until you are healed, which will continue. It will spend a lot of turns. You can see I wasted some of my nutrition there waiting to heal. I probably would have been faster just to go over and check out the bloodwort pod, but I'm trying to show you what's going on. So when I hit shift and Z, you can see it sped through a number of turns at once. If a wandering monster had come into my line of sight while I was doing that, it would have stopped and given me a chance to react to that. So now I am going to see if I can figure out what potions I have here, and unfortunately the only way to find out is to drink the potion. Well, that's fortunate. The first potion that I tried is a potion of life, which has increased my health, my maximum health. And rolling the dice here with the blue potion, oh, that's a poison gas potion, let's get downstairs. So you can see that the potions aren't exactly, they're not all good. Now, things like poison gas potions can still be useful because you have the option to throw them, but until you know what it is, you don't usually want to just start hucking potions around. I have a mauve potion here. The yellow is a swamp gas here. If fire touches the swamp gas, it explodes, and if you are in it when that happens, you're pretty much dead. I mean, the odds of surviving that are pretty slim, and it's usually good not to be in that when that happens. So I'm going to continue up here. Alright, here we have a sleeping kobold, which I will attempt to let lie. Oh, there's an eel. Yeah, let's maybe stay out of the water. Where else can I explore? Well, I can explore down here. What's through this door? Oh, good, there's a bloodwort pot. I'm not hurt that bad, though, so I'll leave it for now. There's a rat there. It's sleeping, and now it's hunting. Now, you can use the numpad to move on a diagonal, which I don't normally bother to do, but if I need to attack something on a diagonal, it's better to do that than to just leave it, than to move the extra step, because when you move, the creature that's next to you gets a chance to attack you. So I always tend to go through doors first and see what's up. Back over here, there was some statement here. This area appears to be cloaked in shadows, perhaps a safe place to hide. That's usually a good place to be, something like that, if you're going to be resting. So I've discovered a scroll entitled Wuz Lofa Gritlin, and there's some plate mail in this room too. Now the jackal's sleeping, but I definitely want that plate mail, because when you use enchantment scrolls, it reduces the strength necessary. You can see I need a lot more strength than I have right now to wear the plate mail, and it increases the armor bonus. So a well-enchanted set of plate mail is going to be worth my while, but I don't want to put it on yet because I certainly don't have the strength to use it. I don't even know if I'll be able to move, and it might be, well, it might be cursed, so I'd rather avoid that. Aha, a fire immunity charm. That's going to come in handy. What the charms do, you get to tell what they are immediately. What a fire charm does is when it's used, the charm will grant me immunity to fire for 15 turns, and it'll recharge in 303 turns. If the charm is enchanted, if I use a scroll of enchantment on it, that'll improve the immunity to 19 turns and recharge in 191 turns. So they're useful things to have, but I definitely don't want to waste that yet because there is no fire over here. I'm just going to wander over here and get this. You can see the downward staircase over there, so I've discovered that. Oh, a bloat. Those things are dangerous. I would like to not wake that up if I can. It's also a levitation charm. It's only +1, so I'm guessing the levitation won't last very long. It'll last for 12 turns. That can be used to walk across gaps. And I will actually go ahead and just use it now, just to demonstrate that, after I kill that jackal. Alright, so I'm going to stand here, and I'm going to go into my inventory, and I'm going to select the M, and I'm going to apply that, and I float into the air, and now I can move over gaps. When the red bar in the top left goes away, my levitation is done, and you definitely do not want to be over a pit when that happens. So now you can see how that works. Also, you can see from my wandering around, my levitation charm is 3% full already. When it gets back up to 100, I can use it again. Alright, so there's some more swamp gas over here. A scroll entitled Lofa Nuglo Woos, which means it's another scroll that I don't know what it does. Another scroll entitled Gana Herba Glorp Nage. And we can see this, so I'm going to duck down here just so that I have it in case I fall down to the next level. I will be able to find my way back up again. Okay, well, I am betting that I will need to use levitation to get over there. But we shall have to see. Oh, no, never mind. You can see the pit there, though. When there's a pit, you have the option of diving into the depths, which will bring you down to the next level. You never want to do that intentionally. There's almost no reason to go diving off the edge and into the pit. Now, I can see over there I had left some armor. Over there on the right there, I can see it there. It's chainmail. That might be good to start with, especially if I have a scroll of enchantment or a potion of strength, which will increase my strength. Now I'm gonna show you how the throw works here. I'm gonna throw an incendiary dart at the bloat there. I'm gonna throw another one. It's almost dead. Alright, so when the bloat dies, it leaves a gas like the poison gas potion. So you need to move away from it, or it will do damage to your flesh. And the fire from the incendiary dart also set all the grass in the room on fire. Definitely don't want to be stuck in there when that goes off. And now we go back over here, and I can see I have done the full circle. So I will head back over this way, and we will head over to the dungeon floor here. Actually, because, well, I still haven't found the potion of descent yet. You always want to use potions near the stairway until you find out where the potion of descent is, because you know that the area around the staircase is not going to be water or lava, which would kill you. So I have a scroll entitled Woozled Root Flynn. Let's see what that does. This is a scroll of enchantment. Excellent. I am actually going to enchant my plate mail first. My plate armor. It shines in the darkness. So you can see now that the strength required to use the plate armor is 18 instead of 19, which means that once I get my strength up high enough, I will be able to use a kick-ass set of armor. Now I have another scroll entitled Lofa Nuglo Woos. Let's see what that does. That is a scroll of magic mapping. Now you can see I pretty much discovered everything that there was in the level, but these little pink things were parts of the level that I hadn't discovered. You can see that there's nothing there that's important at all. I'm going to look at my scroll entitled Gana Herba Glorp Nage and see what that does. Ah, that's a scroll of negation. As you can see, it considers negation to be be a positive thing. It's a numbing torrent of anti-magic, and I'm not entirely sure what that one does. I think it will negate curses and other magics on items that are still on the ground, but it doesn't have any effect on the items that are in the inventory. Okay, I have also discovered a mauve potion. Let's see what that does. This is a potion of flame. I catch fire. Okay, I'm on fire. I'm gonna run downstairs, and I'm gonna run into some grass, which is bad. But I am mostly safe here, and I am no longer on fire, so that's good. You need to wait until the fire goes away enough that you can move past it. It will, eventually, given a chance, go out. And that's a goblin. Goblins are a little tougher than kobolds. I think I'm going to be okay, though. Yeah, that's alright. We're already starting to get into the part of the game where things are a little bit dangerous. You can see that the fire didn't extend all the way out here. It's because I don't think I carried that much down with me, so the strength of it wasn't very high. Well, let's see what's over here on the right. There's a hunting kobold. Let's kill that. And another one. Let's kill that. There's a scroll of magic mapping. I'm going to save that for now. And a scroll of enchanting. Okay. I am going to use that scroll of enchanting. And this time, I am going to use it on the chainmail so that I can have a little bit of better armor here. You can see that the chainmail strength has gone down to 12, which means that I should be able to equip it. And, because I used a scroll of enchantment, I know that it's not cursed. When you enchant an item, if it's already cursed, the enchantment uncurses the item and does what it's supposed to do. And obviously, if it's not cursed, I get the bonus, but it doesn't. I haven't seen anything that said that a dark presence leaves the item. So I am safe to equip that armor, which is going to increase my armor. I don't know if the armor that I had before I enchanted it was already enchanted. It may have been positively enchanted, which would mean that that my enchantment might be better. So while the minimum armor class that I would have adding the chainmail would be 5, it might actually be higher than that, and I won't know until I wear it for a while. I discovered the down staircase, so I'm just going to pop down so that I can find it. And I'm going to head up this way and see what's over here. Got a sleeping goblin and a wandering kobold. I'm going to try to see if I can just sneak by here without catching their attention. I have woken up the goblin. I'm beating up the goblin, and I'm all right there. You can see I'm still using the dagger. I have a sword, but I don't know how good it is, and I don't want to run into trouble. Aha, there's another scroll of enchanting. And my levitation charm, as you can see, has recharged. I'm going to take the gray potion and then duck out here, and then there's a steel wand. I woke up the goblin. Alright, I'm going to use that scroll of enchanting. It's always a little iffy to use this stuff on weaker things like swords, but I am going to use it on the sword because I can at least, even though I have 1 strength too little for the sword, I can at least get an 89% damage increase at the cost of a 17% accuracy decrease, and that's probably worth doing, so I'm going to do that. I'm going to head back over this way and see what I can find. There's a hunting kobold. You can see I whacked the kobold in 1 shot this time, and the damage increase from the sword is nice. Let's see here. Oh, it is difficult to see. Oh, there's a bloodwort pot. I'm feeling it a bit, so I can go through here. I'm feeling much better now. Aha, this is a locked iron door. The only way through the door is to find the key or the pressure plate that will unlock it. This is the first puzzle room. Behind every locked iron door there are magic items, and those magic items are guaranteed to be safe. They are always not cursed. There's usually 4 or 5, but you're only allowed to take 1. But I first have to find the key or the or the pressure plate, which I don't seem to have found yet. Now I can see that there's an angel up there. Angel usually marks a room of some sort as well, which leads me to believe that there's a secret passage up here somewhere. Aha! There we go. I hit S a few times and I found this. Alright, let's kill the rat because it doesn't really matter. Okay. Alright, hitting S shows me that there are pits in the room. I'm hitting it over and over again, and you can generally see the pathway here, though. So I have the door key. That'll open that iron door. Ah, there's a second iron door. Well, I might as well open this one. Okay, so the key that I have does not go to this iron door. I would suspect that the key to that iron door is behind the other iron door. They do that sometimes. It's usually worth your while to go to the second iron door, but the thing is, it's a bit of a gamble because you can only take one item, and some of the other items, whoa, bloat, run away from the bloat, and now the bloat is hunting, which means that it's going to be right on top of me. So I might as well kill it, and alright, I'm now weak with hunger, as you can see, so I'm going to dip into my inventory, and I'm going to use the food, which is going to increase my nutrition up to a respectable level. Now that I've run in here, I have to wait for the gas from the bloat to disperse, because I like not dying, you know. You can see that there's a lot going on, and that I'm already starting to run into a little bit of trouble because I have no food left. I'm only on level 3. I have to get all the way down to level 26. Alright, let's pop that blood wart pod here and heal back up, and then head in here. And yeah, you can see there's a war axe. Okay, there's a war axe here, which I definitely can't use because I'm not strong enough. The nice thing about the war axe is it allows me to attack all adjacent enemies simultaneously, and that's a big thing. So a war axe is one of the major weapons that's worth looking for towards the end of the game. There's also a rapier. It's because of the nature of the rapier, it does less damage, but it allows me to attack twice as quickly. If there's one step between me and an enemy, and I step directly towards it, I'll perform a lunge attack, which deals treble damage and never misses. Again, the rapier and the war axe are both too strong for me. It's very tempting to take both of those. There's also a ring of light, which is very handy because it will allow me to see further in the dimming light of the deeper dungeon levels. When it says it will reveal its secrets to you if you wear it for 1500 turns, that just lets me know how strong the enchantment is. Because it's in one of these special rooms, I know that it's not cursed. Now, I'm going to head down here, and there is a door key, and I'm going to take that key. Now, as you can see, the background on those items has gone gray, and there's an altar, there's an iron cage right there. Now, if I head over here, the missing item must be replaced before I can access the remaining items. I can step on here, and if I wanted to drop the key on here, I could pick up something else. But I'm actually going to go use the key on the door, which means I am foregoing the safe items in that room, in the hopes of finding something better. Okay, well, what do we have up here? You can see I'm tapping rather than holding the key in a lot of cases. It's because I can't see very well, and if I run into a bad situation, that may not be good. Okay, in here there are 2 stabs of conjuration. Stab of Conjuration will summon Phantom Blades into service. You can see that one has 4 charges, and this one has 2 charges, so this one's not nearly as good. There's an axe here, which, like the War Axe, has the same ability. There's also some Banded Mail, which is better armor than what I'm wearing. But as I already spent some as I already spent 1 scroll of enchantment on this chainmail, I'm going to try to hang on and get myself up to that plate mail. And there's another rapier in here. I think I'm going to grab this Staff of Conjuration. Now you can see, because there are 2 in the descriptions, it could be this one or that one. But when you hover either over it or over the title, it tells you which is which. So I want that Staff of Conjuration, so I'm going to walk over and get it. So I know that the maximum number of charges that this staff might have is 4. I believe that when they're in these rooms, they are fully charged. But I am not 100% sure, so it may not have a full 4 charges on it. Staves tend to have pretty powerful spells, but you need to find a scroll of recharging to get the staves to recharge. They don't recharge automatically like charms. I'm looking here at the 4th level, and I can see that I have been playing for almost a half an hour, so I am actually going to save it here. You can go in, and now like roguelikes, you can suspend the game and quit, or you can quit without saving. When you die, there is no save. You can't undo your death, and at that point, well, when you're dead, you're done, and you have to start again. So I'm going to suspend the game and quit, and I want to thank you all for joining me, and I hope you all join me. You'll all join me for the next video. This has been Dilzim playing Brogue, and I'm going to be playing this for quite some time because I'm unlikely to finish it anytime soon. Have a good night, and thanks for watching.